Hey everyone, Tim here from PoolProAnswers.com. This is the #1 episode, Cartridge Pool Filter Complete Teardown. I'm sorry I couldn't come up with a more catchy name. Maybe I'll get the hang of that. I could have done something like Friends, the one where I tear down the filter. I'm not sure if that would work or not. But anyway, I'm a completely new YouTuber. I don't even know if I can call myself a YouTuber yet. I probably should have a couple episodes under my belt before I take on that name. But anyway, constructive criticism is always welcome. If you see a way where I can improve, please do let me know. But also, please be kind. With all this pandemic, this shelter in place, I figured what better way to expand my horizons while I'm stuck in the house than to share my swimming pool maintenance knowledge right onto your screens. Now, I will say you have only yourself to blame because you clicked on the video. So that's what I'm doing while I socially distance. It's April 6th, 2020. I think we're about into week 3 of shelter in place here in Northern California. I, for one, don't mind it. I've been pretty busy. How about you? Is everyone healthy? Are you steering clear of the pandemic? Are you keeping your mind busy? Well, hopefully. Let me know in the comments below how you're faring, how your family's faring. I do hope you and yours are staying safe during this time where we're trying to keep our communities healthy and get everyone back to being healthy. Anyway, before I get on to the reason for the episode here, there are some safety implications, so I just want to mention one little disclaimer. This video is not intended to teach anyone how to correctly or safely maintain their swimming pool or spa, nor the attached equipment or the plumbing, gas, or electrical systems. This video is meant for illustrative and entertainment purposes only. If you don't have the skill or the understanding of any of the equipment or topics related or unrelated to this video, you should always consult a skilled professional. So I want to mention too that I recorded this a few weeks back doing a teardown on a complete cartridge filter teardown rather. It's a WaterWay. I believe it's a 420 square foot. Could be 425 or 430 depending on, I get the manufacturer's numbers mixed up, but they're right in about the same. Either way, it's 4 cartridges of about 100 square foot a piece, 105 square foot a piece. The principles apply to every single cartridge filter you might encounter, specifically the 4 cartridge style. There are single cartridge and double cartridges and other multiples, but the 4 cartridge style, they're pretty much the same across the board, no matter what year, no matter what manufacturer. So if you have a Pentair, Jandy, WaterWay, Hayward, it's all pretty much going to be the same. Or very similar. The styles are all very similar. So it is important to note too that you'll see in the video I used hand tools. I didn't use any power tools that I would typically use while I'm on the job, and that was with intent. That I wanted to show you, the DIYer, the do-it-yourselfer, how you would do it in your own backyard if you didn't have any of the power tools that we would typically use in the trade. Okay, so I was able to whittle the job down to about 7 or 8 minutes worth of video, but this is about an hour-long job, and that's me doing 1 or 2 of these a week for the last 12 years, so it might take you a little bit longer, figure an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours for some. But again, the principles apply, and I'll try to explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing it that way. Now, if you do have any questions for follow-up for maybe a future video, hit it in the comments below. I wouldn't mind hearing about it, and that'll give me some ideas on what I can maybe put together for you in future videos. Then I can call myself a YouTuber. I can have multiple videos, right? I'm also going to put a link of the blog version of this teardown in the description below. And hey, do me a favor. If you like the video, if you have a strange interest in swimming pool maintenance, or more likely you have a swimming pool and you're looking for pointers on maintenance, like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content. I do have a few other ideas rolling around in my head. I'm editing a couple other videos right now, so there is more coming. So do me that favor, and hopefully you like it. So anyway, onto the filter. Very first thing we want to do is turn off the breakers and make things safe to work on. Next, you want to bleed all the pressure out of the filter cartridge by opening the bleeder valve. Here I'm making a solution of 10 parts water to 1 part acid to soak or pre-soak the filter cartridges. This helps break things down so that they clean up a lot nicer. Now here I'm opening and emptying out the pump basket. This pump service has been neglected. Your pump basket should never be left that full. Obviously I ended up replacing that basket because it was cracked. Now keep track of your barrel nut and tension spring assembly. You want to make sure that it goes back on in the right order. Now once all the water is bled out or drained out of the cartridge and the pressure is relieved, it's safe to open. Same thing with the rest of the parts. You want to make sure to recall how they go back together. Take a picture before you pull everything apart if need be, and then inspect your cartridges for cracks on the bands, cracks on the ends, to make sure that they don't need to be replaced. If they need to be replaced, don't waste the time cleaning them. Then you want to look at your O-ring when you pull it out, and don't lose track of that either. Always make sure all of your O-rings end up getting lubricated before going back on. Now I don't always pull off the drain plug when I clean the filters, but this one needed to be pulled out because, as you'll see in a second, it was full of debris, and that's the easiest way to get it cleaned out. So there is an O-ring on that drain plug, so make sure you don't lose track of that. Sometimes they stick to the body of the filter, and you'll need to make sure to get that before it shoots out and you lose it with the flow of the water. So I cheated a little here and didn't take off the O-ring off of the drain plug, but you should always pull the O-ring all the way off. That way you can inspect it for cracks. Be very careful when tightening up the drain plug. It's easy to break. You'll notice I'm using a nozzle with a very fine point. These can be purchased for fairly cheap at any garden supply or hardware store. Now when you're cleaning, you want to get as deep into those pleats as possible and get all of the dirt and grime out, because that'll lengthen not only the time between cleanings but also the life of the individual cartridge. Make sure to securely place the cartridges back on their perch within the filter canister. This will prevent filter bypass leaks as well as any cartridge blowouts from happening in the future. So obviously I only showed the one cartridge being cleaned, but all 4 cartridges need to be cleaned in the same fashion, and then put everything back in the reverse order. And again, it helps if you take a picture. If you don't do this all the time, take a picture of what everything looked like before you take it apart, and then you just put it back together in the reverse order. So if you do have a impact drill with a socket, I believe this is a 3/4 socket, some use 9/16, some use 7/8 sockets, but either way, if you have an impact drill, that makes that job a whole lot easier, putting the band back on. And do make sure you hit the band a couple of times with a rubber mallet, and then continue to tighten it. You'll be amazed at how much tighter it'll get after you hit it a few times with the mallet around the band. This helps everything to seat nicely, and again prevents seals and prevents blowouts, and prevents a safety hazard. So there you have it, folks. That's the entirety of the filter teardown. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful. One thing I failed to mention in the narrative there is that when you're tightening up that band, you're tightening up that barrel nut, you want those springs to be touching, or just about be touching. There are some torque specifications on it, but if you hit it with the mallet all around, you get that band to seat nicely, and then you keep tightening it up till that spring is almost, till the coils are almost touching each other. You'll be right within spec. All right. Well, again, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, please subscribe if you're interested in this content, and hit me with some comments below. Let me know how you think I can improve. I'm always looking to better myself and get better at various things, and this is a new thing for me, so I look forward to any constructive criticism. And again, please do be kind.